Hey guys, Neely here, and it is Wellness Wednesday, so I'm coming in for a check-in on my diet, nutrition, health, and wellness life. Let's see, so last week I told you I was going on my vacation, my weekend away, and I posted all those videos of those 3 days that I was away, so I hope you guys enjoyed getting a peek at that. It went really well. I had so much fun. It was really relaxing and fantastic, but I did have a lot of digestive problems, which was really unusual for me. I tend to have reactions to food that are more psychological and not so much digestive. So, I mean, I will occasionally, but I haven't in a long time, even when, like, over the holidays, when I was eating more less healthy food, more or less healthy food. And over the summer on vacation, I didn't experience the same that I experienced this past weekend. It was really strange. So I had been thinking about it, kind of trying to figure out what in the world, was it something I ate? Was it, what was it? And I did eat some stuff that was, not typical for me, but like I said, that usually doesn't hit me that hard, but I think it was a combination of things. I think it was a combination of the foods that were not as healthy. I was eating in a retreat center cafeteria type place, and I overheard some of the kitchen workers talking about margarine and the eggs, and like they had Cool Whip, like just that kind of food. So it's typical American, standard American diet type stuff. And I picked through and ate what I consider to be healthier for me, but still, like, I ate the scrambled eggs and they had margarine in them, that kind of stuff that is just normally not a part of my diet at all. So there was that. And then I think part of it also, because it started really early on, like on Friday, right when my vacation started, before I had really eaten a lot of less healthy food. And I think a big part of it was stress. And it's not like I was just really stressed out or nervous or anything like that. It was just totally out of my normal everyday life, kind of out of my comfort zone, because I am a total introvert. And going on a retreat with a whole bunch of women that I didn't know. There were a couple people that I thought might be there that I knew, but they didn't end up making it. And so I don't think I knew anybody there. I mean, aside from seeing people like on Sunday mornings and teaching my kids Sunday school class and stuff, I didn't know anybody. So it was, kind of out of my comfort zone in that area. So I think the different food combined with the stress, and then the first night I slept so horribly. Like, my cortisol was super high when I was trying to go to bed. I can totally feel that now that I've kind of watched my cortisol rhythms for a while. When my cortisol is high, I get that tired and wired feeling where all I want to do is sleep, but my brain won't turn off, and I just lay there and just cannot relax. And then when I finally do kind of drift off to sleep, I like jolt back awake, and it's like this surge of adrenaline with any sound at all. Like, any sound will make me like jerk awake. So I definitely slept terribly that first night, and Saturday my digestion was just a mess, just very bloated, and yeah, just not fun. So I think it was just a combination of the three things. If it had been a vacation with my family and eating the less healthy food, I don't think it would have had the same effect as it did with all three things, the stress and the lack of sleep combined. So anyways, that was just really interesting to kind of pay attention to my body and watch, and it just makes me realize more how important it is to focus on sleep, to focus on stress management, and then of course food choice. That's always the first thing we think of, but there's a lot of things involved. But it wasn't like debilitating. I was fine, and I still was able to enjoy myself really well. The only thing was, like, sitting in the sessions where they had the speakers and the music and stuff, like, my stomach was just making so many noises. It was totally bizarre, and I was worried that the people around me were like, what in the world? What in the world is going on over there? But made it through, and it was fine, and I did get to meet some people, and it was fun, and I totally enjoyed it. It was just out of my comfort zone. So anyways, that is it for kind of how my body did on the weekend away. I definitely ate more than normal, like more than I do when I'm trying to lose weight, and just less healthy foods. On the way home, I stopped at the Tillamook Cheese Factory. I was getting some gifts for my kiddos, and I wanted to check the gift shop out, and I needed to grab lunch anyway, and it looked really good. And I got I got a burger, and I did get a cheeseburger. It's the Tillamook Cheese Factory. You have to get some dairy. But I got a cheeseburger, and I did get gluten-free bread, but I totally ate the French fries. And that was kind of my last big hurrah as far as food goes while I was away. And that was delicious, and I felt fine about eating it just because it was a special treat on my special vacation. But then when I got back, I did that first day back, how I eat in a day video that I showed you guys, and I did a low-fat day, and that day went great. Then yesterday, my plan had been to do a low-carb day because yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I had planned steak dinner for me and my husband. I'd gotten a good deal on steak, so I was gonna make that, and I ate low-carb the whole first part of the day, but then right before I started cooking dinner, my husband called me, and he was letting me know that he wasn't coming home that night. He has a crazy schedule, and he didn't have a lot of time between 2 shifts because he works 2 jobs. And he was like, you know what, the traffic is terrible. I am just gonna sleep in my truck and go to my next shift, and I'm just not gonna come home. So I didn't end up being able to have my Valentine's dinner with my Valentine like I had planned. I wasn't too terribly upset about it because we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. It's just, yeah, it's not really our thing. We have so much wild romance in our lives the rest of the year that we don't really need Valentine's Day. But anyways, so that kind of changed my plans, and since I was since I had the planned out meal, and I kind of totally got shot to pieces, I decided to take the girls out. My 4 little Valentines I took out for dinner. We didn't do anything fancy. We just went to New Seasons and got stuff from the deli and brought it home and watched a movie. And I ended up getting a crossover, which is carbs and fat together, for those of you not on THM. And it wasn't a terribly unhealthy meal, but it definitely was not a weight loss friendly meal. So I've kind of, that's been, since I've gotten back, I haven't quite gotten back into the weight loss eating swing of things, but that's fine. I'm okay with it. As far as an update on my weight was up about a pound over last week, which I think is probably pretty good considering how I've eaten this whole past week. So that's fine. I'm not worried about that. But then I did do my measurements yesterday, and they were down a ½ an inch. So my measurements continue to go down even though my weight is kind of going all over the place. So that is a good sign to me that my body's kind of in a holding pattern. And that's pretty typical for me when I lose weight, is my body will be ready to lose weight and really respond well to when I eat in weight loss mode. And just like in January, I lost 10 pounds really quick, and then I kind of just go into a holding pattern for however long until my body is ready to start dropping again. And since I am trying really hard to just listen to my body and kind of follow along with how it leads, I am just, I'm not worried about it. I'm making the best of it and recognizing that that's just what my body likes to do. But considering that I have been eating in maintenance mode this past week, and I maintained reasonably, little bit up in weight, but a little bit down in measurements. So I think that they cancel each other out, and I maintained my body size. So I'm really happy with that. I mean, I ate a burger and French fries a couple of days ago, and I am maintaining well. So I am not disappointed. Things are going really well in that area. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention in this video is that I am kind of thinking towards doing some kind of a candida cleanse or gut dysbiosis cleanse. I did one several years ago now, and it was really good looking back on it. When I did it, I was kind of looking for a magic bullet type thing where you do it for whatever the month or 6 weeks or whatever it was, and you end up with your life transformed and every problem is gone. And that didn't happen when I did it. But rarely that kind of thing happens with natural interventions like candida cleanses. But looking back on it now, I can see that my health, just compared to back then, is so much better now. Like, so many of my skin issues have cleared up, and just so many things that I can look at now and see that, oh yeah, I did gradually get better after that. So I think the Candida cleanse did make a lot of positive changes, and it just took time for my body to kind of show that. So, but I do think that I still have some sort of gut dysbiosis issues, because of the digestive stuff that I told you about over the weekend. Then also I do still have some lingering skin issues. I have like a rash on my scalp, and toenail psoriasis, which is really annoying, and I don't know if that'll ever go away, but just a few little things like that. And then whenever I do start eating sugar at all, I will start getting kind of hives type rashes, like on the back of my hands, and then I notice some on my eyelids. After Talia was born, which is like 6 years ago now, I got a really bad rash all over my face, and it was horrible. And so whenever I start getting any kind of rash on my face, I'm like, I need to nip that in the bud right now, or else it's gonna get out of control, because that was awful, absolutely awful. So that I just, like, if I start eating sugar, I'll just kind of notice a little tiny, it starts right up here, right underneath my eyebrows, and I just don't want that to get going at all. So because of those few little things, I'm thinking about doing some kind of a candida cleanse with supplements. My diet is pretty clean as far as when you look at candida cleanse diets. I'm not eating a lot that I would have to cut out necessarily, maybe a few things, but you really need to do supplements along with the dietary changes to get the candida under control. So I'm thinking towards that, and I did that candida cleanse a few years ago, and that one was really good, and I may just go ahead and do that again. The supplements were pretty inexpensive, and you cycled through different supplements because if you just take one, your body will get used to it and it'll stop working well. So you cycle through like 4 days. There's 4 different ones, and you do 4 days on each one, and then because you're changing it every 4 days, your body doesn't get used to it, and it is able to knock out the bad bugs more easily. So I'm thinking about that, but then I'm also still reading my Adrenal Thyroid Revolution book. I didn't get as much read as I wanted to over the weekend, but I am still working through that, and she does talk about gut dysbiosis in the book, so I'm kind of waiting to get through the book a little bit more and see what she recommends, and then make a decision on what exactly I want to follow as far as a cleanse, and I may kind of incorporate different things from the different cleanses that I've done and the different info that I have. So anyways, I haven't made any decisions about that yet. I'm gonna be not doing it right away. My mom and sister are coming into town at the beginning of next month from Texas. My older brother is having a hospital stay for 5 days for a procedure. And my mom and sister are coming to town to help out while he is recuperating. So they're going to be in town for almost 2 weeks, I think. So I don't want to be doing anything serious or restrictive at that point while they're here. So I'm kind of thinking towards maybe the middle of March time, and do it maybe, because my birthday's at the end of April, thinking maybe middle of March through the middle of April-ish time, and then be off of it by my birthday. So anyways, nothing concrete yet, just thinking about it. Wanted to let you know what I'm thinking of, and I will definitely share any info on what I decide to do. And if you guys are interested in that kind of info, please leave a comment down below and let me know, and I will definitely share it with you guys. It would be fun to do some sort of a little group if anybody else is interested. It's always fun to do those kind of things with other people. So definitely let me know if that's something that you are thinking towards and you're interested in. And then one last thing that I wanted to mention, Dr. Jade Teta, who I always talk about, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about him before, he did a Facebook Live video a couple of days ago, and it was like, I think he was talking to a group of women. That's what it sounded like from the laughter and stuff and the comments. But it looked like he was doing like a teaching session with a group of women about fat loss, and it was absolutely amazing. It was a great video, very entertaining to watch too. It was very interactive between him and the participants or the spectators, whatever, people taking the class. And I will put a link down below if I can figure out how to link to it on Facebook. The video is still up on his Metabolic Effect Facebook page, and he's been doing a lot of Facebook Lives recently and Instagram lives. So definitely follow him on Facebook and on Instagram if you're interested in that kind of info. It was like an hour long, the one that he did the other day, and it was so good. He said so many like sound bites that like perfect quotes and things. He says things that I'm like, I have thought exactly that before, but you said it so perfectly. So I'm like listening to it and I'm like, yes, 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 you're right, absolutely. That's how I listen to him when he talks. He has a very good grasp on all this stuff. So anyways, I will put the link to that down below. Definitely recommend checking it out if you're interested in fat loss at all and interested in that aspect. So I think that is it for my Wellness Wednesday. Not exciting as far as weight loss. I'm kind of in that, you know, time where my body is just adjusting, and it may decide that it's ready to lose some weight here later on. We shall see, and I'll just keep kind of pushing every once in a while and see how my body responds. Sometimes I will push and my body says, nope, not right now, and I say, okay, I will just continue waiting until you're ready. There's no forcing my body whatsoever. So anyways, that is it for me for my Wellness Wednesday. I hope you guys are all doing great, and I will be watching everybody else's Wellness Wednesdays if you post those, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye guys.